Think Bigger podcast, community conversations with my friend Will of Cokreeate. I have known Will for...
20 years?
It's been 20 years.
20, maybe a little longer. Maybe a little longer.
You know what, man? Time, it's incredible how time flies, right?
It's crazy.
So, you guys, Cokreeate is a 3D printing company, okay? Scanning and printing. But long before Cokreeate and 3D printing and scanning was Southern California car life.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, car life. Yep. Late 90s, early 2000s. You said Hollywood Fortnite. All right.
That was when it was getting big.
It's true, man. Yeah. It's true. Okay, so you know what? Honestly, Will, your memory is going to be better than mine.
Okay.
So, do you remember the first time we met?
Hell yeah.
Okay, so I really don't.
So I think the first time we met was actually at Ben's house.
Okay, yeah.
Ben with the yellow Civic, right?
I remember, yeah.
So I don't know what was going on. I think we just had to meet up or hang out.
Yeah.
And then you were Ben's friend.
Yeah.
Right? So you pulled up in your blue hatchback.
Okay.
And I was like, oh shit, that's one clean hatchback, man. And then that's the first time we ever met.
Okay, and that's when you were dipping that TL, right? The silver one.
Silver one.
And what year did you get the TL?
99 when it came out.
I see. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't. My bad. I didn't even remember. Yeah. Okay, so you guys, right here is an example of what I'm talking about. Southern California car life led me to meet various people. And 20-ish years later, I'm sitting here with my friend who has established this business. And it's just kind of an example of how crazy and far-reaching the community is, you know. And I did this community conversations, you know, Will. I know you've listened to some of the episodes, but
for sure.
Yeah, but community conversations is a segment of the podcast that is not just learning about people in the community, but learning from them.
Of course.
Because we all have things we can teach each other.
Of course.
Right? And I know that some of you guys are probably hearing it, right? But what you're hearing in the background are some of the machines running. He has... How many machines do you have now? Forget the sizes, just
maybe
total.
25, 30.
25, 30 machines. And he has a lot of them running pretty much non-stop, right?
Yeah,
you print something, you input the next file, and it's got to go, right? Yep. Yeah. And so what you guys are hearing in the background is not static, it's not feedback, but it is background noise, but it is the noise of the machines printing out some objects. So we have a machine that's super close to us right now. What is this printing?
It's printing a skull cup.
A skull cup.
Yeah. So
I see it. So somebody wanted it's an upside down skull.
Yeah, exactly. They're using it for like a wine glass.
So they're gonna drink out of the upside down skull.
Correct.
It's a little dark.
Yeah, it's a thing, right? I mean, everybody has their own thing, right?
Okay, but speaking of that, right? With this world, there's a lot of comics and anime, right?
Correct.
That they love these types of figurines and things.
Totally.
Okay, so let's get into that, right? How did you go from... Well, because we're gonna go back to dipping the SGV, you know, in the cars, right?
Yeah.
But how did this come about? Because I remember when you first started,
okay,
and I was just like, yo, that's really cool. But I think you were actually, in my humble opinion, so far ahead of the wave,
correct,
that it was almost weird.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, those machines, I don't even know how much they cost, but they're definitely not cheap.
Yeah.
And for you to you were like, yo, I'm really doing this out of the house, like the garage.
For sure.
And I was just like, I'm always down to support people, but like I said, I think that you were just enough ahead of it that I was like, what are you gonna make?
Yeah.
Who are you gonna sell it to?
Exactly.
And now it's turned into obviously anime and cartoons and
everything
and pop culture icons.
Correct.
Right. You've even done Stan Lee.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
The Stan Lee. And you've even done some adult stars.
Plenty. Plenty. Yeah.
You guys, do you hear the emphasis on plenty? Okay, so how did it come to be from cars to I blink my eyes, and my friend Will is doing 3D printing.
It started pretty much as a hobby. So at my previous 9-to-5 job, I was a hardware engineer, and then we talk about the latest and greatest tech.
Yeah.
So I want to say probably 2010.
Yeah.
It's when we started talking about 3D printers, because they started to hit the market, and then we were like, oh shit, what are these, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I got involved and kind of did more research. And 2012, I bought my first printer. First 3D printer, knowing nothing about 3D printing at all.
You just bought it.
Just bought it because I
just wanted to do it.
I just want to do it. I want to see what's the hype about.
Sure.
XYZ, whatever it is, right? So I bought it, put it together, knew nothing, and just program, print random shit off the internet.
Yeah.
I have no 3D background, right? So think of it, the 3D printer will not work if you don't have a 3D file.
Right.
Just like your 2D printer. You don't type something, it's not going to print anything.
Yeah.
Right? So the same thing, whatever I could download offline, I download it and print it. Eventually it got boring, right? I had to learn to make my own shit.
Yes.
You know? So fast forward, 2013, my wife Jules.
Yeah.
She saw me printing all these random shit. She's all like, why don't you just turn this into a business, you know? So I was like, all right, let me look into it. So I did my research, and at the same time around that era, a Japanese company came up, or I seen them printing little miniature figures of people.
Of real people?
Of real people. Like,
Okay.
you know, they scan and print like, oh shit, that is so dope. You
Yeah.
know, like, I've never seen anyone in the States done it. I figure, you know, I'm just gonna jump in and find a way to do it. Right?
Yeah.
So her and I, my wife and I, we put our money into this. So she's my partner.
Yes.
Business partner. So we put our savings and bought the scanner, the printer, knowing nothing about anything.
Yes.
Head first, and the rest is history.
See, that
Right.
that right there, you know, you guys, like that right there is a really, really cool story, because you have this new tech that comes to pass for Will and his wife, and it ends up being like, you know what? We're just gonna go all in.
Yeah, we're just gonna go all in. That's it.
All right, so this is 2013.
This was 2000. Yeah, we started 2013. We opened up our shop 2014.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, I didn't have no money, so at that time I had to sell my truck and
That's
cashed
right.
out and everything just to open up the shop.
So you literally sacrificed
Yeah, I sacrificed. I sold whatever I had. You know.
to just fund the dream.
Yeah, exactly. Just to fund the dream. And,
See, you guys,
you
this
know,
is
it's hard shit, dude.
okay. So there you go, right? And I mean, Will, like,
Yeah.
you know, the Think Bigger podcast is, you know, we're talking about cars, and there's so
Yeah,
many,
yeah.
but it's bigger than that. Right?
Correct.
We're talking about, you know, everyone has these ideas that they want to be a business person. They
Yeah.
want to be an entrepreneur.
Correct.
Right? And a lot of people, I think, especially younger people, you guys have the gift and the curse of the World Wide Web, because
Yeah.
you have so much information accessible to you. And at the same time, you have so many people that make you think that it's easy. And vloggers and pages make you think that within maybe months,
Oh, yeah,
everything is
right?
click, click, click,
Yep.
and you're there.
It doesn't work that way,
You'll go
man.
viral. You'll have 1 million subscribers. You'll have customers galore, and you'll be shipping worldwide. And no,
Yeah, it takes time.
it takes
A lot of
time and personal
Yep.
sacrifice.
Everything.
And so, you know, I want to touch on that, right? So, had you ever attempted to go all in, selling your personal objects to fund anything else before this?
Oh yeah, plenty of time. I mean, I had other business before
Yeah.
this when we were younger, but
You
all
mean
that-
like when I met you?
Yeah.
Were you side jobbing stuff?
I was doing car parts, selling car parts.
yeah,
on the
yeah, yeah.
internet,
I kind of remember that.
making carbon fiber parts for people.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
so
do remember that.
All that led up to this, right? So it taught me how to become an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Meet people, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But all those failed, right? And this was it. You know, I cashed out and put 110% into everything into here.
Okay, so let's talk about that. When you did these other ventures, you know, I mean, you were younger
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and less
yeah.
experienced and mature, of course, but nonetheless, you still put effort into
Correct,
it.
yeah.
Why do you think, in hindsight, why did those fail?
Some of those is because I had partners at the same time, and
Bad partners.
yeah, they weren't pulling the weight.
Understood?
So some of them, you know, we just call it quits, and that
Uh-huh,
was it. I mean,
uh-huh.
we broke even. We cashed out. We got our money back. Whatever we put
Okay.
in. I guess other ones was more because at that time, I was still young.
Yeah.
And I had my daughter when we were 19.
Yep, yep.
So it was one of those grind type of thing. I had to go back to school for my parents. They wanted us to have a degree and blah blah blah. 'Cause,
Yes.
You know, we had to marry so young.
And because you're Asian?
Yeah, and because I'm Asian, you know, it's one of those things that I found that, you know, you better go get your degree.
Yeah,
you know, even if you don't want to,
yeah,
it's that paper that makes them happy, right?
Sure.
So, you know, we sacrificed and we did that. So it's time.
Yes.
I didn't have the time to focus on that business plan because I had family, I had to work, type of thing. Yeah. So it was rough, make it that way. So.
Okay, but you guys, I want to touch on something real quick. The fun and the joke about Asian parents and them wanting that. It's all fun and games because Will and I have that type of upbringing, but it isn't to jab at our parents.
Of course.
And the upbringing per se, because it might be a little bit tunneled and maybe even old school of an ideology that you must have an academic degree to quote unquote make it, but the dedication to studying and the work ethic and scheduling out your days and stuff, that type of thing will pan out and help you in anything.
Oh yeah, totally.
Right?
Yeah.
So you know, I don't want you guys to think that it's a jab, because it's a joke, but there's a reason why that ends up playing itself out. It isn't so much the academics. You know, a lot of parents wanted their kids to play instruments.
Oh yeah.
And it isn't necessarily that they want you to become a professional cellist.
Of course, yeah. They
Right?
want the best for you, right?
They want the best for you, but music and academics help to expand your mind.
Correct.
And you have to dedicate a certain amount of effort and practice into it, and that will help you develop or redevelop good work ethic.
Yeah, I agree.
In my humble opinion, right?
But
What would you say about that?
I also would put in that the fact that I wasn't born here.
Yes.
So we came from Vietnam.
Yeah.
After the war.
Yes.
So of course my parents want the best for me, right?
Yes.
So they want a degree at the time. You know, like, you know, you're Asian. You had to get a degree, get a
Sure.
good job at that time. But things change right now. Like, you don't need a degree. I've seen people make millions having no degree, right? So,
Yes.
So yeah, that's my input.
So, you know, it's kind of one of those things that, especially to the younger people, and, you know, a lot of you guys who listen are on the younger side, and it's never a jab. I don't take jabs at millennials per se, because what I think happens is a lot of the stuff, like what my friend Will just said, you know, you guys would have maybe barely even read about in a school textbook.
Yeah.
Right? You're talking about just one generation.
Yeah.
It's not three generations
Exactly.
ago.
Yeah.
It's one generation. You came from a third world country, from war.
Yeah.
Now, you may have been young, but your parents were in the middle of the
Yeah,
war
they
and
saw everything.
escaped the war.
Exactly.
By coming to the U.S. And I think a lot of the younger people listening, that's going to not really click.
Yeah.
It's going to sound like, oh, his great-grandparents. No, he's talking about he came from a third world country in the middle of a war, which his parents were old enough to see the terror and the killing and the destruction, and said, we want to get out. And that's where this idea of American dream,
Correct, yeah.
right? The America's the country of capitalism where anyone can make it. And that's kind of where the whole idea of academics is the one true path. And I think there's a very real history to that people need to understand. It isn't just, you know, Asian parents, you either need to be get a PhD in mathematics or become a doctor.
Yeah.
But there's a reason for that, you guys. You know, a lot of people come from places like that, and there's a very real history. And for people that grew up here in the States, you know, war is going to be something you read about. You watched on TV, you heard about. There hasn't been a war on our soil, and other people came from it.
Yep.
You know? So how old were you when you came? I always thought you were born here.
Nah.
See, I never even knew that.
There you go, right? It's something new for you.
I never even knew that. Okay, so how old were you?
I think it was 3 or 4 when I came here.
Do you remember?
I remember, like, I wouldn't say escaping or whatever.
Sure.
Because my grandpa came here first.
Yeah.
And he, you know, did all the paperwork for us. And then we migrated here. I remember being in the Philippines.
Yeah.
In the camp.
Yeah.
I remember doing that.
There was a lot of Vietnamese camps in the Philippines, right? That was one of the Asian countries that opened its borders, right?
Correct, yeah.
I remember
we were
that.
there for a minute, and then we came to the States with nothing but a luggage and a couple pieces of clothing.
That's it.
We gave up everything.
All right. How did your parents make it? What did they do coming here with zero American money?
Yeah.
How did they make it? What did they do?
My grandfather came here first with my grandmother, so they were probably here a couple years.
Yeah.
So they kind of established the foundation.
Yes.
Right. So when my parents came here, my mom did sewing.
Okay.
And my dad actually went to school and tried to learn English and get a degree.
Sure.
So he got a degree in electronics, I believe.
Okay.
And from there, he didn't use it. He went to become a postman.
Okay.
So he worked at
USPS?
yeah, USPS.
All right.
He worked at a post office. And my mom hustle and grind. Sewing. So I helped her. Like at midnight, I'll help her cut and sew. Cut threads.
Yeah.
Simple stuff when I was a kid. So I remember all that, right? And eventually, she opened up her shop.
A tailoring shop.
Yeah, her own cut and sew manufacturing shop.
Ah.
Yeah.
See, you guys, do you understand how powerful this is? You know, like, it is an amazing, amazing thing to hear from someone who's our age, my age. But this is an entirely different kind of perspective that you're getting right now. You're talking about people that came here with $0
nothing.
and just cutting and making cents
Yeah.
per
Just getting by.
per hem,
Yeah.
per tailor
Whatever, yeah.
job, right?
Yeah.
And
sew pieces.
yeah, and you learned how to do that.
Yeah, I had to help my mom.
You had to
yeah.
help, right?
Yeah.
And then just working and
You want to
working,
eat, right?
Yeah,
that's how it works. You want to eat. You
and
gotta help.
establishing it to okay. So we jump. So we have this
Yeah.
history, right?
Correct.
When I meet you, it's something like 99, right?
Yeah.
So about 20
yeah.
years ago, but you're dipping a brand new
Yeah.
TL.
Yeah.
Right. I'm dipping my Civic hatchback.
Hey, that shit was still badass. Hey, don't lie. I'm like, oh,
Yo,
shit.
stop it. dog. Your TL was fire. You guys, don't let this guy gas up my EG, all right?
Dude,
Don't
that
let
was
this guy
badass.
gas up my EG. I love that car, but it's a Civic hatchback, and my guy's dipping
Oh,
a
man,
luxury
that is
big
bad.
body sedan, all right? So no, Will. Don't you dare, all right? But I appreciate you because I love and miss that car, but I remember you were silver on silver,
Yeah.
right? With the kit
Yep.
and the air.
I don't know if I had air that time.
Oh, you were just dumped.
Yeah, we just dumped. I don't have air that time. I don't
You know
think
what?
when
We're so
we had
far
air
back.
after.
This is
Yeah,
before air.
Yeah, this is before. I had air after we met.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was just a group of guys, Southern California, from I don't know, LA to the
Yeah.
SGV, and we all just had mutual homies somehow. We get together, and Will and I, we pretty much got along from the get-go. And even when circumstances came about,
Yeah.
and I didn't even hang out with anyone else, Will and I kept in touch.
Yeah.
And I think that because that was before the age of cell phones.
Yeah.
And so I don't really remember how, but I just know that at least, well, in the beginning we hung out a lot.
Yeah.
Because that was like the
It
thing
was
to
a
do.
meetup, yeah, like every once a month or whatever
Right.
it was, right?
Right. But I think it just kind of turned into about once a year.
Yeah.
And no
After.
matter what, I would always come
We'll find a
to
way.
Myrie's birthday.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay. So when I met you, Jewel was pregnant,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
She hadn't even had Myrie yet.
No. Yeah.
Okay. And how old is Myrie now?
She's 18.
Okay, so there you go.
Yep.
So about 18, 19 years. And so I meet Will. His girlfriend at the time is pregnant with their daughter. And, here we are in 2019. And like I said, there was this one phase of time. I think it was maybe like a 5-year window.
Maybe,
I think,
yeah,
the
maybe.
business
Yeah.
and then you
Everything, yeah.
you had your son.
Yeah.
Once you had we were just busy and I
Yeah.
ended up living far from you.
Yeah, you were far. You were in Riverside, I think.
Yeah, and it ended up being, I've lived in, I was in
Everywhere,
P-Town,
yeah.
I was in San Diego, I was in Orange County, but what I'm saying is like, I remember this block of time for years,
Yeah.
where I think I only saw you guys
Once a year.
and it was always where I made it to Myrie's birthday.
Yeah.
And it was like a mini reunion,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
All of the
Everybody,
homies,
yeah, oh, yeah.
like the ones that,
From
it
the
was like,
get-go.
yeah, like when someone wasn't
Yeah.
there, I'm like, yo, are they in jail?
Yeah, or
right?
something happened to them.
Did something
Yeah.
bad happen? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't heard from them. Hopefully not. Or, no, they're just, they
Yeah.
got kids now.
Yeah, they're
and
busy.
so, you guys, it's this really, really cool thing to be able to sit here with Will about 2 decades later and talk about this company. So we go from cars, and then you learned how to make carbon fiber.
Yeah.
Right? You just learned.
Yeah, just learn.
Right? Just the resin and the
Yeah.
glue, and you just figured
yeah,
it out.
yeah.
So there was no forum to,
Yeah.
right? There was
There's
nothing
nothing- yeah,
to
there's
reference.
nothing, yeah.
So you just
I
learned.
decided, I want to learn this shit.
Yeah.
Self-taught myself.
See,
and
you gotta
that's
love
what
that.
happens, you know what I mean?
You gotta
The rest-
love that.
Yeah.
So you do that, and that kind of led to you seeing that Japanese company,
Yeah.
and all that type of stuff. So 2013, right? You end up saying we're going all in.
Yeah.
Your wife's
That was
like, babe, why don't we just
Yeah, do something.
do it?
Just do it.
So you sold the truck,
Sold my truck.
and had
That
some
was my
savings.
baby, man.
I remember the truck.
Yeah.
I remember the truck. Truck was nice.
Yeah,
okay?
that was my baby.
Damn, see you guys, that's dedication right there. A lot of you guys are like, I want to do it. How many of you are willing to sell your, I don't know, take every single one of your sneaker collection or your Supreme collection?
Yeah,
or
right.
even if you have a project car or a finished project, right now you say, I'm going to sell it. I'm going to have no car. I'm going to have to buy like a $700 beater, and I'm going to take whatever thousands I get from my project, and I'm going all in.
Yep.
How many of you are actually down to do that right now? If there is any hesitation, you're going to have to reevaluate how dedicated you are to whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. And this is, Will, dude, honestly, man, as long as I've known you, I'm still tripping out. 25 machines. You guys can hear them right now because we're only a few feet away, and these are some of the smaller ones.
Yeah, and these are actually pretty big for this type of material printing, the plastic ones.
Okay, so let's talk about that. It's printing in what material?
It's printing in plastic, PLA plastic. So kind of think of it like a glue gun. So
Yes.
it's melting the plastic and it's building layer up.
Okay, PLA plastic.
Yeah.
How is that different from referencing automotive stuff, ABS plastic?
We could print ABS here too.
You
but
can.
PLA is food safe. It's better for environmental friendly.
Understood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's biodegradable over time.
Okay,
Long
so
time.
all right, so there's that.
Yeah.
PLA plastic, you can print in ABS. What about
Correct.
What about people who are seeing exotic printing like carbon?
There's carbon fiber printing, but those machines are probably like in a 10, 15K range. And
Okay.
they're smaller, so you can only print smaller items.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and then over here to our right,
The big boys. These
These
are
are huge.
These are the full color printing sandstone ones. These
Okay.
are the one that would print, little figures or any like architectural buildings that need color.
okay, so what's the max size that these big guys can produce?
In one full piece, it's 10, 15, 8 inches.
Okay.
8 by 10 by 15 inches. But you could do a puzzle piece. Remember that.
Yes. What are the more common items that come out of these big machines?
Figures like you've seen of yourself and so forth. Architectural buildings. Anything that requires full color and more for visual purpose.
Okay, so
they're
more
not
aesthetic.
Yeah, they're not mechanical purpose. It's too brittle. It's too fragile.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So you actually just touched on it. We mentioned it earlier. Everything from anime and celebrities to the infamous Stan Lee to adult actors or actresses.
Yep.
And
Actors and actresses.
what would be the I don't know, the most famous? Name like the top 5 most famous people that you have scanned and printed.
First, Stanley, of course.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
We done Larry King.
Okay.
We done Mini-Me.
Oh, the actor from
actor,
Austin
yeah.
Powers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bone Thugs and Harmony for those that listen to hip hop and rap.
Wait. All of them?
2 of them.
2 of the Bone Thugs.
Yeah, 2 of them. We haven't all of yet.
Yo, shout out to Bone Thugs. East 1999
Yeah, right? Oh,
was
when
an
that came
album
out?
that we
Oh,
grew up
shit.
on, man. So all my
Yep.
older heads are gonna be
Yeah.
like, okay,
First
word
of
up.
the month.
Yep,
Yeah.
first,
Yeah,
exactly.
my buddy played that shit
so
every fucking
so
month.
Stan Lee, 2 of the Bone Thugs,
Yeah.
Larry King.
Yep.
Who else?
A handful of adult stars.
Yeah,
We were on the Fox 11 News when we first started.
yeah.
Who else? We did Scott Storch,
Okay.
producer.
Yep, music producer.
Yeah. Man, there's a few of them that we did.
You attend a ton of conventions.
Yeah.
What conventions will people be able to go and see Cokreeate at?
Right now, the next convention is gonna be Decon, DesignerCon up in Anaheim.
Yeah.
That's in November. But we done Comic Con and so forth.
The Comic Con, the big one in.
No, we done the one in LA.
Yeah.
And Anaheim. Yeah. So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so those are 2 that we done.
What's the biggest one? San Diego?
San Diego. We go there. We just don't intend. We don't have a booth because it's just so expensive.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
So it's not worth it for us, right? We're still a small startup, so.
All right, so you named some very big time people, and then you're also doing car parts.
Yes.
Right. So
Anything basically.
really,
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys, right now in the lobby of this facility or this shop, there is a massive white knight.
Yep.
Dude, that white knight, you guys, I don't really follow a lot of comics anymore. DC and Marvel stuff when I was growing up and I don't know, Voltron and
Yeah,
G.I.
yeah.
Joes and stuff. I remember.
Silverhawk.
Yeah, but I mean, you know,
Yeah,
like
of course.
it's as we get
Yeah.
older, we get busier.
Yeah.
I don't really pay attention to that. But even for someone like myself that doesn't really particularly pay attention to those things, dude, when you walk in here and see that white knight, it is huge.
Yeah, it's fully wearable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys, what I'm gonna, you know what? I've been meaning to put it out, but I have a vlog that I'm gonna do here at Cokreeate, so you guys are gonna be able to see what I'm talking about. The vlog will end up going on the YouTube channel and on IGTV on my personal Instagram, and you guys will be able to see just this array of items, and I can show you all this noise that you're hearing. You'll be able to get an idea of what's going on, what it prints, what they've done. And he mentioned it earlier. So what happened was, Will came up with the idea of doing, a figurine of me. And I thought that was kind of, you guys, you avid and repeat listeners, and especially people who follow me on Instagram and stuff, you guys know that that's like, I mean, as much as I produce these types of things and content, and I'm out, here for the community and with you guys, something very personal like that, I have a hard time dealing with. I'm not, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It's just a trip. And then I was just like, dude, let me just step out of my comfort zone. And I put a post on IG, remember?
Yeah, it was a while back.
And it was dude, and people were like, I am down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, are you just...
It's crazy, right?
Are you gassing me right now? Like, are
Yeah.
you guys being sarcastic? Are you like... And they're like, nah, man, like, how much?
Yeah.
And so I had to actually get pricing from you to figure it out, because I didn't really honestly believe, and I feel like that might be one of my biggest downfalls.
Okay.
Is because the people who are a little bit more assertive,
Okay.
a little bit more like proud of themselves, if
Okay.
you know where I'm
Yeah,
going with
yeah,
that. They're a little bit more into themselves. That wouldn't be such a weird thing.
Yeah.
Like if you're a full blown all out, like if Brad Pitt was like, hey, Cokreeate, no one's gonna be like, oh, Brad Pitt's a weirdo, he's getting a figurine. No one's gonna care.
Yeah.
Like women will buy it by the thousands, right?
Totally.
Like you did like what's one of the more popular names of an adult actress? Let's do an actress.
We did Christy Mack.
Okay, so I've been told by people that is a very famous person, right?
Yeah, all right.
And no one,
Yeah.
and I mean nobody's gonna
Nobody's
be like,
complaining.
Christy Mack
Yeah,
had herself scanned wearing probably not. Was she wearing
like
anything?
like see-through lingerie.
Okay, and they're gonna be like, oh, what? No one's gonna care,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But for me, I was like, yeah, that's weird. I don't want it.
Yeah.
But we did it, and shout out to my dude Sam Piva of Never Idle. He helped with the packaging, the design of it.
Yeah, it's dope.
It went all out.
Yeah,
So
it's dope.
I basically was like, all right, if we're gonna do this, if Cokreeate and Will and Ju are gonna do this, let me take it seriously. So let me not just sit back, because they were going to design everything, and I said, well, let me try to have a little bit of input. So it was like, maybe these colors and something like that, and then he kind of shared his thing, and then I sent it to my dude Sam, who's an artist and a graphic designer, and kind of all of us together came up with this, and Sam made it a file, and I looked at it, and we tweaked it a little bit. And dude, it looks like it could be hanging up.
Dope. Yeah, that's
dope.
Yeah, Sam did a good job, man.
The
Holy shit.
flow,
Colorway,
the colorway,
the
and then the
layout.
story.
Yeah, the layout.
Right?
Story in the back. Yeah, dude.
So you guys, it's actually there's been 2 mini runs. We've had some pretty big delays due to like blister casing and printing custom casing and stuff, and now they're ready completely. And this is actually the second mini run, and it's sold out. We'll talk about that later. But the point is when you guys watch the vlog, you'll be able to see the size range, the realism, the detail that these machines can capture, and the wands. How many wands do you have?
The scanners.
The scanners.
Yeah. I have maybe 3 handheld and like 2 desktop.
Okay,
just
so
five,
the
five,
handheld
six.
one, how much is that?
The one that we used to scan you.
Yeah.
That one starts at $20K.
What?
Yeah. Hey,
And you have 3 of them?
No, so we're the
20K?
$20K for the one we used to scan you, right? The other ones, the other 2 is probably about $6K.
Yeah.
But we work with a company, so we test and beta test for them.
Sure.
So those are pretty much free for us to test and review and so forth. So we get a lot of stuff that we get to test and review for free.
See, now you guys, instead of, some people might look at it and be like, oh, that's how they're able to. No, you're talking about people that went all in long before they ever knew if anyone would ever give a damn.
Yeah, we didn't know if this was going to work or not.
Sure,
We're like, fuck
sure.
it, we're just going to do it.
So you guys bought a lot of that.
Yeah.
It just so happens that now you've established these relationships.
Correct, with different companies and so forth, yeah.
So, you guys, I want you to really take from this, there's so much depth to what we're talking about right now. It's passion, and it's drive, and it's focus, it's work ethic, it's
I still don't get a paycheck, by the way.
Okay, all right.
Keep that in mind.
Here we go.
What I mean?
Let's talk about that. How many years have you officially been in business?
This is going to be our 5th year if you don't count the first year at home in the living room.
I remember that.
Okay, so if we count that, it'll be 6th year.
Okay.
So 5 years opening up.
Yes.
And 6 years total being in the living room printing.
And 6 years in,
Yeah.
you do not give yourself a paycheck.
I don't give myself a paycheck. Right. So when we started in 2013, I still had my 9 to 5 to 2016.
Yep.
I stopped. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna quit my job.
Yeah.
Cash out my Roth IRA.
Yeah.
I probably had maybe 15K.
Yeah.
And just lived off that and just brought Cokreeate to where we're at today. Because
Yeah.
I figured if I'm the captain of the boat and I'm not sailing, we're just gonna flatline. We're not gonna go anywhere.
Sure.
Right. So I quit my job and bam, put 110%. That's it.
110%, and that's it. 110%, not 105%,
110,
not 80%,
not 80.
right?
Right. Just gotta put your all, right? If you believe in what you do and you love it, just fucking do it, right? Don't hesitate. A lot of people hesitate. I mean, it's hard, because we didn't know if we were gonna make it or not. But we figured, fuck it, we're just gonna try it, right? Why not, right? If we fail, we could say we fucking tried it, right? But if you don't try it, you'll never know. All right?
No,
Yeah.
It's as redundant and repetitive as that kind of saying is on Instagram, inspirational quote reposting,
Yeah.
and Facebook,
Everything.
and all that kind of stuff. You're gonna hear some version of that over and over and over again, but it is 100% the truth. Like, you're gonna have to just dedicate yourself, because if you don't, how will you actually know? Will you really be able to know
Exactly.
if you would have made it? Because if you're like, yeah, low key tried for like 6 months,
Yeah, right, yeah.
and you're just like, and it didn't work.
They just gave up.
Yeah, like
Right?
nobody who's a successful businessman was like, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, I tried it for 6 months,
Right.
and I just blew up, and ta-da! And if you're reading those success stories, you're reading, 0.001%.
Yeah. They got lucky or
it's
something on the
hard
product,
work
yeah.
and dedication, right?
Totally.
Okay, so we go from dipping around SoCal, cars, carbon fiber parts, getting your hands dirty, wrenching,
Everything, yeah.
all that kind of stuff, to going all in on this. So now we're at 2019. Right now, you guys, I'm not even going to apologize for the sound quality or this noise, because that is literally the sound of my guy working, his investments and his machines working while we're talking and sitting here in this facility with a very small but filled storefront, brick and mortar as they call it. And you can see all of these, ranging from small to just this, like that white knight is
Yeah.
so massive. I can't wait to show you guys. And the machines are running. Okay, so what is the next step? What do you have planned for the future?
Well, the next step, we thought about like franchising.
Okay.
Right? But until then, we would want to build a household name for ourselves. Like,
Yes.
Anybody that thinks about 3D printing would think about Cokreeate.
Yes.
Right. Making products kind of like how we do with yours.
Okay.
Because we haven't seen anyone done that.
Yes.
And there's a big market for that, just because there's a lot of cosplayer out there. Just use that for example.
Yes.
They have a lot of fans. They want to make a toy figure of themselves, right?
Yes.
So if you want to make a toy figure, your traditional way, they require like a couple thousand pieces. That's a lot of money.
Yes.
So for us, we'll just do a low minimum, and they can still have a figure of themselves that their fans could collect.
Okay.
Right. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
So that's our next big thing.
Okay.
And then obviously, in the long run, we get to a virtual reality and a augmented reality stuff.
Okay, hold on. Hold on, just hold on a minute.
I gotta be ahead of the game, you know? See that? See that?
Let's touch on that in just a moment. And what I want to talk about for a quick second is good people and friendship. You know, a lot of you guys who are listening know that I'm all about good people and helping create a stimulating conversation that whether I ever know that you guys are having it with your friends or family after listening to one of these podcasts, what I care about is the Think Bigger project and the podcast are all about creating an environment of growth for the community, and the community is comprised of individuals. So one person listening right now, you listening right now, how this affects you, how this might inspire you is all it takes to start the ball rolling. And you will affect those around you, someone else listening in another part of the country, the state, the city, across the street. You know, every person, you can listen and let this story of Will and his wife and his family and his investment and his dream, you can just let it be a podcast episode that you listen to while commuting to and from work, or maybe you're at the gym right now, or wrenching in the garage. You can let a wealth of knowledge enter your mind and then exit and just be forgotten. Or you can do something with it. That doesn't mean that everyone's starting their own business. It doesn't mean that you have to leave your job. What if your job is solid? What if you make good money? Or what if you are stable and you're just like, but I actually like my job. I want people to remember there's a different path for everybody, you know? And what you think your path is at this exact moment is not necessarily what you're going to think your path is later. You know, when we think human beings are proud people, and we tend to think that we've got it figured out, you know? And what we thought at 16, we thought we were the shit, man. We thought we knew. And then 26, and you look back and you're like, man, I was such a fool at 16. And then 36, right? And when we're 46, we're going to be like, what was I doing when I was 36? And those phases of life, they might happen in a week or a month or a 10-year period. But what matters the most is that they happen, because you can be one of those people that blinks their eyes and opens their eyes at, I mean, who knows what? And you're just like, what did I do with my life? Right? What did I do with my life? You know, it kind of goes back to the other episode where I talked about why do people really hate Mondays? It's because it is a symbol of a work week for a job that they hate. And you end up measuring your life off of your job.
Every day's a Monday for me. Right?
So
I love it. No days off.
No days off, man. If you want to make it, you know, quote unquote, figuratively and literally, you might have to embrace the reality of it, that it is not going to be even sort of easy or even sort of hard. It is actually going to be extraordinarily difficult. But Will, I want you to take all of this. Forget all of the history, forget everything, right? Right now, as a grown man with a business that you work 7 days a week, right? If you're talking to the people listening right now, if you had to come up with just a few pieces of information, what would you tell people?
Just follow your dreams, man, and whatever you like to do, go and do it. You know, don't waste time, don't sit around. I mean, everybody has an idea, but you have to execute. That's what counts, right?
Execution.
Execution. We can sit around and talk about $1 million ideas, right? But if we don't execute it, it ain't gonna go nowhere.
Yeah, you know, you guys, listen to that, okay? Action and execution. You know, that right there is just another way of talking about, you know, how I've driven home the point of, you know, passion, drive, and focus. Everyone loves passion. I'm passionate. I love doing something. That doesn't mean a damn thing. Your passion is useless if you don't do something with it. It takes action.
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
You have to be driven. That's the drive, and you have to be focused on some kind of goal. Because if you just are like, hey, I'm at home and I'm passionate.
Yeah.
Hooray.
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
it, right?
good for you,
Yeah.
right? You know, this idea of you do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. Well, how do you do something that you love? That's in your head.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally.
It's in your head,
It
you
is.
know? Not everyone's gonna just be, dancing a jig,
Yep.
and running to their car to drive 100 miles an hour to get to work because they love it. It might just be a step or a phase in a certain direction. So, Will is living that idea. I mean, you guys hear the machines going. There are machines going and computer programs running as we sit right now at Cokreeate. There's no time to, all right, let's put everything on pause so we can,
Yeah.
do this podcast. These things take hours,
Yeah.
right?
Days. Yeah, even days, yeah.
All right. And I think that this whole printing, okay, scanning and printing, I feel like there's some type of metaphor here, okay?
Okay.
Because, you're printing pieces of something and it takes patience,
Yes.
right? If when people think print, they think of like a paper printer, like
Correct.
a Xerox machine,
Yeah,
right?
really
You print a
quick.
piece of paper and it takes the original
Yep.
and just fires out
Yep.
1 or 1,000 copies. And over here, as you get older, you have to, learn to have more patience that when these types of printing, it not only is one piece going to take hours or days.
Yeah.
That's just one piece.
Exactly.
That you need another piece
Exactly.
to put together to add to another piece that might be on another machine.
Correct.
Right? All to make one item.
Correct.
Right? And you guys, you take what you want from that. But it's an example of what I feel like the very foundation of the project and the podcast are all about is that he hit the nail on the head, man. Will, you hit the nail on the head. The idea that passion means nothing without action.
Yeah.
It's useless.
Yeah, if you want to fix up car, how you gonna get there, right?
Yeah, you can be as passionate as you want, telling your
Yeah.
friends, I'm gonna do this,
Yep.
I'm gonna do that,
Yep.
my car's gonna kill the game,
Yep.
right? I
Yep.
mean,
Yeah.
20 years later,
Yeah.
there's dudes still saying that,
Yep.
and we're just like, but you haven't killed it yet.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Right? It's 20 years
Yep.
later, Playboy,
Yep.
and you haven't killed it yet. You
Yeah.
got other people that got married, they had kids, they started businesses, and you're still over there,
Trying to kill it.
trying to kill it. Whatever game that is. I don't know what game it is now. It might not be cars anymore.
Yeah.
But you guys, action. You have to get your hands dirty. You have to go out there and work
Put in work.
and make
Yeah.
something of yourself. And this is an example of what I'm talking about. 20 years later, I get to sit here with a friend who if I talk about this often, good people, even if it ended up being once a year, as I was growing up, I think a lot of you will relate to this. I had a difficult time with friendships because even to this day, I have this idea of what friendship's supposed to be. I feel like people are supposed to talk often. People are supposed to see each other often. But as I got older, I realized that's just not really the reality.
Yeah.
People
Everyone
are
has life.
busy.
Yeah, exactly.
And that doesn't mean that person cares about you or vice versa any less. It just means that, it's harder. There are more responsibilities. There are more circumstances. And that therefore makes it harder, substantially harder, if not sometimes impossible to see each other. But when you do, it's love, it's hugs, it's laughs.
The good old days.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to, right?
And we sit and laugh with each other like we're 18
Just like
years
yesterday.
old.
Yeah, exactly. Just like yesterday.
Just like yesterday, Except now he's got, a family vehicle. I have a couple of low-key vehicles. Before we were just dipping exhaust.
Yep.
And,
Just didn't care.
didn't
right?
care, man. We were all getting rolled.
Yep, yep.
We were all getting worried. Even back then, you guys, in Southern California.
I think it's worse.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah. In Southern California, you guys, that's been like that forever. Like, whenever you started the car and drove it, you were like, I
Keep an eye
really
out.
might get rolled
Yeah,
today.
yeah, keep an eye out.
Yeah,
And
and
when
you
you
just tried to dip, man, like a
Yep.
respectable person. If you saw a cop, you
Pull over, pull over.
pull
Get
over
off
to
the car.
drive through.
Yeah, get off the
if
car.
you park and get out,
They can't do
they
anything.
can't do
Yeah,
anything,
yeah.
right? And that's what we used to do: pull into a drive-through,
Yep.
get out real quick, turn your signal on,
Whatever, yeah,
you know,
pause, just get in and
anything.
get out.
Just
Yep.
park real quick and get out,
Yep.
and act all nonchalant,
Yep.
And that's what we used to do. I mean, none of us are doing anything crazy, but we probably didn't have a front plate on.
Yeah.
We probably were too low. and or we had an exhaust or some tint, and that's all it took, you know. And in those days, we were all getting rolled sick, man, all the time,
because everyone's rolling deep. Right? 10 cars everywhere, right?
You guys, so we used to dip so deep, and now, you know, everyone's so busy. I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. There's some people, they're not busy. I don't know what they're doing. They're just at home. I don't know what the hell they're doing. But right here, right now, I get to sit and have a community conversation with my friend Will, and you know, his wife Jules is my friend too. She's too shy. We try to get her to say a few things, you know. But you know, like he referenced her earlier about she was the one who was just like,
she influenced me.
Yeah,
and you know, got my back from day one.
Yeah,
that's it.
And she said, why don't you just go
balls deep?
Yeah,
you know, go and do it.
Yeah,
she said, fuck it, just do it.
Yeah,
that's her line. Fuck it, just do it.
Just do it. Though, yeah, and she's here with him every day. Right? She works with him.
Put in work.
You quit your job. She
was running this full time
before you quit your day job.
So she was here every day.
Yeah. And then you quit, and now you guys are together.
Yep.
You know, and you guys, you know, little man, I mentioned him earlier. So his first child was Myri. When I met them, you know, his wife was, his girlfriend at the time was pregnant. And then, how many years apart are they?
7 years. 6-7 years.
Okay. And so now, and then how old is he now?
He's 11.
So there you go. So they're 6 years apart, 7 years apart, and now he's 11.
Yeah.
Dude, time. Those numbers are just crazy.
Yeah.
I remember when he was born, I was like, it's you. He looks just like you.
Like
and as he got older, I was like, maybe he'll look more like his mom. And it was like, nope. He just looks like Will.
I got the strong genes, you know?
You know, hey, you guys, right here, I think this was such an amazing time for me to sit down with Will. You guys you learned about his journey from immigrating to the United States from a war-torn country, to his parents working their ass off to establish some type of safety and ability for them to live, you know, and eat and have shelter. And then now they're doing the same thing for their kids. And all of that comes from hard work and dedication and being driven and focused. You know what? His parents, the passion that all of us like to reference, that wasn't even there. It was safety. Yeah. There's no passion like, oh, we want to go to America so we can work at a job that we love. I want to touch on that real quick, right? There's so many people, because of this wave of entrepreneurial kind of, YouTube passive income videos and I'm not knocking that stuff, but what I want you guys to understand is everyone thinks about passion. Passion is what comes first and everything. No. There's an entire world of people that the idea of even being passionate, of even doing something they loved, never even crossed their mind because they weren't given that luxury. Being passionate about something is a luxury because sometimes you don't have the opportunity to be all, frolicking through a field of dandelions and lilac and skipping through life and like, I want to find what I love. Sometimes you're going to need to realize that as an adult, you just need to man up or woman up and do what you need to do for the people that you need to take care of. Whether that be just yourself or your loved ones, children, family, whatever. And if you love it or don't love it is A, up to you, and B, in the end, irrelevant. Because you have responsibilities. As an adult, you are responsible for yourself and for the other people that you bring into this world. It doesn't matter if you like it. It doesn't matter if you love it. It doesn't even matter if you're passionate about it. It just matters that you get up and, like Will said, action. Do something. Stop talking. Stop posting. And do something. Work. You
put in work.
Put in work.
Simple. You want to be successful? Put in work.
That's it. That is the perfect note to end on. One more time, Will.
You want to be successful? Put in work.
Put in work. Think Bigger podcast, community conversations where we talk with people and learn not just about them, but from them. Will, Cokreeate, I love you, my friend.
Love you, buddy.
Thank you for being on here. And you guys, please interact. Any ideas, comments, agreements, disagreements, For those listening on YouTube, comment immediately, share it. Anyone that you believe would need to hear this. It's about some effort. Put a little bit of effort so that this can reach more people. For those of you listening on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, etc., on my IG, my personal IG, I make a post specifically for each episode so that we have a comment section. Comment there, interact. It is vital so that we can continue the conversation. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Think Bigger Project, Think Bigger Podcast. Let's go.